Hey guys, it's your girl Aishamoy. Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we're gonna be turning these pajama pants into a two-piece sleepwear. This pants, I really love this pants, but it's never really fit me right. So yeah, I'm gonna change that and turn it into a two-piece set instead of just like pants. So I'm starting off with a short that really fits me well. For the pants specifically, the seat was like super long and I needed to get that changed. The waist is kind of big as well, but I know I'm not gonna do any adjustments to the waist, sorry. Just to make the process a little bit more easier, I'm just gonna like focus on the legs and the seat. And as I said, I'm starting off with something that fits me, kind of perfectly. So I'm just using that as my guide and I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting. So yeah, I'm just basically cutting off the legs, but you want to be careful with cutting off the legs because that's where we're also going to be using to make the top of the sleepwear. After we've cut off the legs, we're gonna work on the seat of our shorts. So the pants, initially the seat was way too low, so that's why I'm cutting it like super high, because I actually want it to fit this time. So yeah, I'm just basically cutting a triangle, and that's basically how you cut a seat. But if you guys notice, one side of the leg for the shorts was longer than the other, so I'm gonna have to basically fix that. And I'm gonna show you guys like the easiest way to make sure that both sides of your cutout or both sides of your garments match. So basically what you have to do is just fold it in half, and if it doesn't like match up completely, then you know that something is off. So in this case, yeah, it didn't match. So all I did was make sure that the seat area matched, and then I just got rid of the excess parts of the other side of the leg, and that's basically it. That's how I got it to match. Trust me, the shorts part of the set was the easiest thing to do. It was the easiest thing for me to do because I didn't have to do any adjustments to the waist. It was a little bit too big in the waist, but I figured since it already had like elastic bands in the waist and everything, I didn't want to give myself any extra work, so I just didn't do any adjustments there. So yeah, that's basically it for the cutout portion of the shorts. And all I have to do now is just sew that bit. But first we're gonna work on actually getting the top portion cut out. That was a task, guys. So we're gonna start with the legs of our pants, and that's basically all we're gonna use to make our top. Now at first I was thinking of doing something like, spaghetti straps, but I decided, if I want sleepwear, then I definitely want something that's gonna make me warm. So I decided to do something a little bit longer. So I'm busting open the sides of our pants feet. So I'm busting the sides open with a scissors. You could use like a seam ripper or anything that you have, but the stitching was really small, so I just went in with a scissors. And of course you want to match everything together, and you want to get your garment that you're using for your guide, and you just want to put that into place. And as per the use, you're just gonna use that to basically decide how you're gonna cut out your garment. So specifically for me, I wanted the top to be a little bit longer than the guide that I'm using, so I cut it a little bit longer. Just in case you guys are wondering what fabric I'm using, it's polyester. It's 100% polyester, and the size of the pants was extra large, I believe. So yeah, So I just went in and I cut the length that I wanted. Now for the sides, you guys see that I'm going super close. That isn't something that I recommend, but remember that we're using the legs of the pants and I didn't have a lot of fabric space left. So you know, like the rough edges from the pants, they were still left there, so I had to get rid of that, unfortunately. Yeah, unfortunately I had to, you know, cut really close, but I wasn't too worried because polyester does stretch. It doesn't have like a lot of stretch, but it does stretch. Now the hardest part out of the entire outfit for me is gonna be the shoulders. You guys are gonna see why, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do the top of our blouse. And that was kind of, I was indecisive if I wanted to leave it with sleeves or just like do it sleeveless, again because of the restriction of fabric. But I decided to, you know, wing it out and just do the sleeves. So right now the only thing I'm doing right now is just getting the top cut off. Now I'm gonna move on to doing the neck. At first I wanted it to be a low neckline for the front and just like a regular high neck for the back. So that's what I did. I just cut like the neck portion for the front. I was eyeballing this as well. It, I guess it could have been lower, so I am gonna go in and adjust that though. But that's basically how you get, like, if you wanted a high neckline for the back, low neckline for the front, that's what you would do. But the part that I need to get into this now is the arms. Now our fabric is really restricted, so I couldn't cut like too deep when I was trying to get the arms cut out. I couldn't cut too deep because then I didn't want it to be like too small for me when it was done. So I was being very careful, and you guys are going to notice that I did like a really small cut for the arms. I wouldn't recommend doing that. Like, do something a little bit deeper. I couldn't use my guide here because my guide was basically bigger than the outfit that I was making because of the restriction of fabric. So that's why I had to be eyeballing the arm cutouts as well. And of course we do want everything to match up, so I'm gonna go ahead and fold that into two and just basically repeat the steps for the other side. So I'm gonna make sure everything is matching up, and then I'm gonna try to repeat the step for the other side of our armpits. I did end up changing my mind about the neckline, so I just did a matching neckline for the back and the front. So all I did was basically just follow the shape that I already had and just cut that from the back as well. So that's basically all we needed to do for our top. All we have to do now is just trim off any excess fabric that you have, and then we can move straight into actual sewing everything together. So we're gonna start with the shorts. So, you know, this was as I said, this was the easiest part of the garment. I'm just gonna stitch the seat area, and I did do like some zigzags on the end of the fabric, but I didn't include that in the video. But you can do that to like prevent fraying and stuff. You can always do that to neaten the ends of your garments. Then we're gonna move on to sewing the top. For that, we're just basically sewing the sides and the armpit area. I would recommend like using a really small stitch to sew polyester fabric because I'm worried that it would actually fray if you don't. I think the size that I used was like 10 or something, but I honestly could have gone a lot smaller. So I am doing this was the shoulder portion. I'm doing the shoulders, like the top part of the garment. As I said before, you can always use like a zigzag stitch to neaten the ends if you're afraid that your fabric will fray. I did do that, but I did it off camera. I'm sorry, guys. But this is basically what the outfit looks like. I'm super, super pleased with how it turned out. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.